The year was 2157, and Earth had long since joined the galactic community. Humans were known throughout the stars, but not for their might or wisdom. No, they were the cosmic jesters, the butt of every joke in the grand cosmic theater. Their stubborn determination to push boundaries often led to spectacular failures that left other species howling with laughter. But deep in the heart of Luna Base, Earth's most brilliant minds were about to change everything. Dr. Elena Reeves stood before a gleaming metal construct, her eyes shining with a mix of pride and anticipation. The machine before her, sleek and otherworldly, was humanity's greatest achievement. The seventh dimension vessel, nicknamed Longshot by its creators. They laughed when we said we'd crack interstellar travel, Elena muttered, running her hand along the ship's smooth surface. They'll eat those words soon enough. Behind her, a team of scientists and engineers bustled about, making final preparations. Holograms flickered with complex equations and schematics that would baffle even the most advanced alien civilizations. Captain Jack Harper strode into the hangar, his presence commanding attention. As the chosen pilot for this historic mission, he carried the weight of humanity's hopes on his broad shoulders. "Dr. Reeves," he called out, a crooked smile on his face. "Ready to make some aliens eat crow?" Elena turned, matching his grin. "More than ready, Captain. Let's show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of." As the crew boarded the Longshot, news of the impending launch spread across the stars. On countless worlds, aliens gathered around viewing screens, eager to witness humanity's latest folly. On the bustling trade world of Xarxon, a group of various species crowded a popular bar. "Did you hear?" A tentacled Quilleri gurgled. "The humans are trying to build a ship that can traverse the seventh dimension." Raucous laughter erupted from the assembled aliens. "Impossible," a crystalline Vextor chimed. "Their primitive minds can barely comprehend 4 dimensions, let alone 7. I heard they based the design on something called string theory," a furred Meroian added, whiskers twitching in amusement. "Apparently, it's an outdated concept their scientists clung to for centuries." More laughter filled the air, along with various alien equivalents of eye-rolling and head-shaking. Back on Luna Base, the countdown had begun. Captain Harper sat at the Longshot's controls, his crew strapped in behind him. Dr. Reeves' voice crackled over the comm system from Mission Control. "Remember, Jack," she said, tension evident in her tone. "The moment you activate the 7th dimensional drive, you'll be entering uncharted territory. We've run every simulation possible, but nothing's certain," Jack finished for her. "Don't worry, Doc. We didn't sign up for this mission expecting a cakewalk." As the final seconds ticked away, a hush fell over Luna Base. In bars and homes and alien embassies across Earth, humans held their breath. This was it, their moment to prove themselves to the galaxy. 3, 2, 1, ignition. The Longshot's engines roared to life, bathing the launch pad in ethereal light. Slowly at first, then with gathering speed, the ship rose. It cleared the hangar, soared past lunar orbit, and then it vanished. For a heartbeat, silence reigned across every world watching the launch. Then, as one, alien spectators erupted in jeering laughter. "See, another human failure. Did they really expect it to work? Perhaps they accidentally invented a teleporter to the bottom of their ocean." But in Mission Control, Dr. Reeves and her team weren't laughing. Their eyes were glued to readouts showing the impossible. The Longshot hadn't failed. It had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. Somewhere out there, traversing realities humans had only theorized about, Captain Harper and his crew were about to change the course of galactic history. And soon, very soon, the laughter would stop. The age of humanity had begun. The Longshot hurtled through the 7th dimension, a realm of existence that defied conventional understanding. Inside the ship, Captain Jack Harper and his crew experienced a kaleidoscope of sensations unlike anything they had ever known. "Status report," Jack called out, his voice steadied, despite the otherworldly journey. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, the ship's science officer, responded with awe in her voice. "Captain, our sensors are detecting everything and nothing. It's as if we're everywhere and nowhere at once." Before Jack could respond, a blinding flash filled the ship. When it faded, the crew found themselves in normal space again, but nothing looked familiar. "Where are we?" Jack asked, peering at the view screen. Sarah's fingers danced across her console. "According to our star charts, we're in the Andromeda Galaxy. Sir, we've traveled over 2.5 million light-years in mere minutes." The crew exchanged looks of shock and excitement. Their mission was already a success beyond their wildest dreams, but they were about to discover that crossing vast distances was just the beginning of the Longshot's capabilities. As they began to explore their surroundings, strange things started to happen. Objects on the ship seemed to move of their own accord. Crew members reported hearing thoughts that weren't their own. "Captain," called out Engineer Mike Okonkwo, "I think I can feel the ship, not just with my hands, but with my mind." Jack was about to dismiss this as stress-induced hallucination when he felt it too. A connection, as if the Longshot had become an extension of his own body. Sarah's eyes widened as she stared at her readings. "Sir, our journey through the 7th dimension has changed us. Our brains are operating on a level I've never seen before. We're not just traveling through higher dimensions, we're beginning to perceive and manipulate them." As the crew grappled with their newfound abilities, they received an urgent transmission from Earth. Dr. Elena Reeves' hologram appeared on the bridge, her face a mix of concern and excitement. "Jack, thank God you're alive," she exclaimed. "You've been gone for 3 weeks. The entire galaxy is in an uproar." 3 weeks, Jack replied, shocked. "Elena, for us it's only been a few hours." Elena nodded. "Time dilation. We expected that. But Jack, listen. Your little vanishing act has caused quite a stir. Most alien races think you've been destroyed, but a few of the more advanced civilizations have detected ripples in space-time. They're scared, Jack. Really scared." As Elena briefed them on the diplomatic chaos their mission had caused, the crew of the Longshot began to realize the full implications of their journey. They weren't just explorers anymore. They had become harbingers of a new era for humanity. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. Sarah's hands flew across her console. "Captain, we've got company. 3 ships just dropped out of FTL. Configuration unknown, but they're charging weapons." Jack's mind raced. They were alone in a foreign galaxy, facing unknown hostiles. But as fear threatened to overtake him, he felt a strange calm wash over him. Without fully understanding how, he reached out with his mind, connecting with the ship and his crew. "Everyone, focus," he said, his voice resonating with newfound power. "We're going to show these aliens exactly what the Longshot can do." As the enemy ships opened fire, the Longshot moved with impossible speed and grace. Weapons that should have torn them apart seemed to pass right through them. The crew acted as one, their thoughts and actions perfectly synchronized. With a thought, Jack activated the 7th dimensional drive. The Longshot phased in and out of normal space, appearing and disappearing around their attackers. In a matter of minutes, the enemy ships hung dead in space, disabled without a single shot fired. As the dust settled, the crew of the Longshot looked at each other in awe. They had done the impossible, and they knew this was just the beginning. Back on Earth, as reports of the Longshot's incredible feat began to trickle in, the laughter that had once accompanied humanity's every move in the galactic community began to die away. In its place, a new emotion took hold: fear. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, and nothing would ever be the same again. News of the Longshot's incredible feats spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The once laughable humans had suddenly become the most talked-about species in the cosmos. On the bustling planet of Zarxon, The same bar that had echoed with laughter at humanity's expense now buzzed with nervous chatter. "Did you hear?" Aquilary whispered, its tentacles quivering. "The humans disabled 3 Krex warships without firing a shot." A Vextor chimed in, its crystalline body flickering with anxiety. "I heard they can appear anywhere in the galaxy instantly. No one's borders are safe anymore." As alien civilizations grappled with this new reality, the Galactic Council called an emergency session. Representatives from thousands of worlds gathered in the Great Hall on neutral ground, their usual squabbles set aside in the face of a common concern: humanity. High Counselor Zix, a towering insectoid being, called the session to order. "Esteemed colleagues," it buzzed, "we face an unprecedented situation. The humans, once a source of amusement, now possess technology that threatens the balance of power in our galaxy." The chamber erupted in shouts and arguments. Some called for immediate action against Earth, while others urged caution. Ambassador Lorne of the Meroian Confederation rose to speak. "We must not act hastily," he purred. "The humans have not shown aggression. Perhaps we can negotiate, convince them to share their technology." "Share?" scoffed Krex War Chief Grok. "Why negotiate when we can take? I say we crush these upstart humans before they become too powerful." As the debate raged on, a decision was reached. The Council would send a delegation to Earth, officially to extend congratulations, but in reality to assess the situation and pressure humanity into sharing their newfound capabilities. Back on Earth, the crew of the Longshot had returned to a hero's welcome. Parades were held in every major city, and the team found themselves thrust into the spotlight. But with their newfound fame came new challenges. Captain Jack Harper stood before a panel of Earth's leaders, including the President and top military brass. The atmosphere was tense. "Captain," the President began, "your mission was a remarkable success. But now we face a diplomatic crisis. The Galactic Council is sending a delegation, and they'll undoubtedly want access to the Longshot's technology." Defense Secretary Williams leaned forward. "We need to know everything. How the ship works, the full extent of your new abilities. Earth's security may depend on it." Jack exchanged uneasy glances with his crew. The changes they had undergone were deeply personal, not just technological advancements but fundamental shifts in their very being. How could they explain something they barely understood themselves? "With all due respect," Jack replied carefully, "we're still coming to terms with what happened to us. Rushing to weaponize this technology could be dangerous." "Dangerous?" Williams scoffed. "What's dangerous is letting alien races get their hands on it first." As the debate heated up, Dr. Elena Reeves intervened. "Everyone, please, we need to approach this carefully. The Longshot's capabilities go beyond mere technology. We're dealing with fundamental forces of the universe." The meeting ended in a stalemate, with Jack and his crew ordered to undergo extensive testing and debriefing. As they left the building, they were mobbed by reporters and curious onlookers. "Captain Harper, is it true you can read minds now?" "Lieutenant Chen, can the Longshot travel through time?" The questions came fast and furious, but the crew remained tight-lipped, hurrying through the crowd. Later that night, as Jack lay in bed, unable to sleep, he felt a familiar presence in his mind. The entire crew of the Longshot was connected, their thoughts joining in a silent conference. "They're afraid of us," Sarah thought. "Can you blame them?" Mike replied. "We've changed the game entirely." "What do we do?" another crew member asked. Jack's thoughts resonated with determination. "We stay true to our mission. We're explorers, not conquerors. Whatever happens, we use our abilities to help humanity, not dominate others." As the crew agreed, a sense of unity and purpose flowed through their mental link. They knew that challenging times lay ahead, but they would face them together. Unknown to them, high above Earth's atmosphere, a fleet of alien ships blinked into existence. The Galactic Council's delegation had arrived, and with them, A new chapter in human history was about to unfold. The arrival of the Galactic Council's delegation threw Earth into a frenzy of diplomatic activity. While world leaders engaged in tense negotiations, Captain Jack Harper and his crew found themselves summoned to a top-secret facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. General Laura Steele, a stern woman with steel-gray hair, greeted them. "Captain, we have a situation. Our deep space monitors have detected unusual activity in the Kuiper Belt. We believe it might be connected to your encounter in Andromeda." Jack raised an eyebrow. "You think those ships followed us back?" "Possibly," Steele nodded. "Or worse, they sent for reinforcements. Either way, we need you to investigate." Quietly. As the crew prepared for their covert mission, tensions rose in the diplomatic arena. The alien delegation, led by High Counselor Zix, made their demands clear. "We require full access to your seventh dimension technology," Zix buzzed, its compound eyes fixed on the human representatives. "For the sake of galactic stability, you understand." President Chen stood firm. "We're willing to discuss cooperation, but we won't simply hand over technology we barely understand ourselves." Unbeknownst to the humans, a secret meeting was taking place aboard the Krex flagship orbiting Mars. War Chief Grok addressed a group of like-minded alien leaders. "The humans must not be allowed to keep this power," Grok growled. "While the Council wastes time with diplomacy, we will take action. Our agents are already in place on Earth." Back at the secret facility, the Longshot prepared for launch. As the crew boarded, Dr. Elena Reeves pulled Jack aside. "Jack, I've been analyzing the data from your first mission," she said, her voice low. "I think the ship is evolving. And you with it. Be careful out there. We don't know what you might be capable of now." With a nod, Jack joined his crew. The Longshot slipped out of Earth's atmosphere undetected, its seventh dimension drive allowing it to bypass conventional sensors. As they approached the Kuiper Belt, Lieutenant Sarah Chen frowned at her readings. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple ships out there. They're using some kind of cloaking technology, but our enhanced senses can pick them up." "Can you tell what they're doing?" Jack asked. Maiko Konko, the engineer, closed his eyes, reaching out with his mind. "They're building something. Something big." Suddenly, alarms blared. "We've been spotted," Sarah yelled. The space around them lit up as the hidden ships decloaked, revealing a massive fleet. At its center was a structure that defied description, a twisted amalgamation of technology from dozens of alien races. "It's some kind of superweapon," Jack realized. "They're planning to use it against Earth." As enemy ships moved to intercept them, the crew of the Longshot felt their connection to the ship intensify. Without speaking, they acted as one. The Longshot danced through space, phasing in and out of the seventh dimension. Enemy fire passed harmlessly through them as they weaved between ships, gathering data on the mysterious superweapon. But their luck couldn't hold forever. A lucky shot grazed the Longshot, sending it spiraling. As Jack struggled to regain control, he felt a surge of energy from deep within the ship. And himself. Time seemed to slow. Jack saw possible futures branching out before him, countless paths of action and consequence. With a thought, he chose. The Longshot vanished, reappearing inside the superweapon itself. As alien crews scrambled in panic, Jack and his team moved with impossible speed, planting devices throughout the structure. "Whatever happens," Jack told his crew, "Earth must be warned." With another thought, the Longshot teleported away, just as the devices activated. The superweapon imploded, collapsing in on itself and taking a good portion of the enemy fleet with it. As they raced back to Earth, the crew of the Longshot knew their actions would have far-reaching consequences. They had prevented an attack, but also revealed the true extent of their powers to potential enemies. Unknown to them, their mission had not gone unobserved. In the shadows of the Kuiper Belt, a single ship watched. Its occupant, hidden beneath a dark cloak, smiled. At last, a voice whispered, the game can truly begin. On Earth, as the diplomatic talks reached a critical point, a message flashed across top-secret channels. Threat neutralized. But a greater storm approaches. The age of humanity's innocence was over. The real test was about to begin. The long shot streaked through space, pushing its seventh-dimensional drive to the limit. Captain Jack Harper and his crew knew they were in a race against time. They had to warn Earth about the impending threat, but they also sensed they were being pursued by an unknown force. As they neared the solar system, alarms blared throughout the ship. Sarah Chen's eyes widened as she looked at her console. "Captain, we've got multiple hostiles incoming. It's a joint fleet. I'm reading ships from at least a dozen different alien races." Jack's mind raced. They were outnumbered and outgunned. Even with their advanced capabilities, they couldn't hope to fight their way through such a massive force. Suddenly, Mike Okonkwo gasped. "Captain, I'm feeling something strange. It's like the ship is trying to tell us something." Before Jack could respond, the long shot shuddered. Energy crackled across its hull, and the crew felt a surge of power unlike anything they had experienced before. In that moment, Jack understood. The ship, the crew, and the very fabric of space-time around them had become one. He closed his eyes, reaching out with his mind to connect with his team and the long shot itself. "Everyone," he said, his voice resonating both aloud and in their minds, "I know this sounds crazy, but I need you to trust me. Let go of your doubts, your fears. Open yourselves to the ship, to each other, to the universe itself." As the enemy fleet closed in, weapons charged and ready to fire, the crew of the long shot surrendered themselves to the flow of cosmic energy surging through them. What happened next would be debated by scientists and philosophers for centuries to come. The long shot began to glow, its form shifting and changing. It grew larger, encompassing the space around it. The crew found their consciousness expanded, able to perceive reality on a level they had never imagined possible. From the perspective of the attacking fleet, it seemed as if a new star had suddenly burst into existence. The long shot had become a swirling vortex of energy, bending light and gravity around it. War Chief Grok, leading the attack from his flagship, watched in horror as his sensors went haywire. "What is this sorcery?" he roared. "All ships, open fire." But as the alien fleet unleashed its barrage, something incredible happened. The energy weapons and missiles seemed to curve around the long shot, as if space itself was bending to protect the ship. Inside the energy vortex, Jack and his crew acted as one. They could see the strands of reality stretching out before them, the infinite possibilities of every action and reaction. With a thought, they reached out and gently plucked at the fabric of space-time. The effect was instantaneous and awe-inspiring. Ships throughout the enemy fleet suddenly found themselves thousands of light-years away, their weapons firing harmlessly into empty space. Others discovered their advanced technology had simply ceased to function, reduced to its most basic components. In the span of a few heartbeats, the mighty armada that had threatened Earth was neutralized without a single shot fired. As the energy vortex subsided, the long shot returned to its normal size. But it was clear to everyone that nothing would ever be the same again. The ship streaked towards Earth, its crew still reeling from the experience. As they entered orbit, they were met not by defensive weapons, but by a message of peace. On the surface, the alien delegation from the Galactic Council watched in awe as the long shot descended. High Counselor Zix turned to President Chen, its compound eyes reflecting a mix of fear and respect. "It seems," Zix buzzed quietly, "that we have much to learn from humanity." As Jack and his crew stepped off the ship, they were greeted by thunderous applause. Dr. Elena Reeves rushed forward, her eyes shining with tears of joy and scientific curiosity. "You did it," she whispered. "You've changed everything." Jack looked at his crew, then back at Elena. "No," he said, his voice filled with wonder and responsibility. "We've only just begun." As news of the Longshot's incredible feat spread across the galaxy, the laughter that had once accompanied humanity's name fell silent. In its place rose a new sentiment, respect, tinged with more than a little fear. Humanity had not just joined the galactic community, they had reshaped it. And the true implications of their newfound power were only beginning to unfold. In the weeks following the Longshot's extraordinary display of power, the galaxy found itself in a state of unprecedented flux. The once mighty alien civilizations that had looked down on humanity now scrambled to reassess their positions in the cosmic hierarchy. On Earth, the aftermath of the event was nothing short of revolutionary. Governments worldwide united under a new banner, the Terran Confederation. Captain Jack Harper and his crew, once mere explorers, now found themselves at the center of this new world order. In a specially constructed chamber designed to accommodate various alien physiologies, the first true galactic summit was held. Representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered, their attention focused on the human delegation. President Chen stood at the podium, flanked by Jack and his crew. For too long, she began, her voice steady. Humanity was dismissed as a cosmic joke. Today, we extend our hand in friendship and cooperation. But make no mistake, we will no longer tolerate threats to our existence or our freedom. The chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. High Counselor Zix stepped forward, its multifaceted eyes gleaming. The Galactic Council recognizes the new status of Earth, it chittered. We propose an alliance, a sharing of knowledge and resources. But not all were pleased with this turn of events. War Chief Grok, his pride still stinging from the defeat, growled from his seat. You speak of peace, but you wield a weapon that could destroy us all. How can we trust you? Jack stepped up to the podium, his presence commanding attention. The power we've discovered isn't a weapon, he said calmly. It's a responsibility. We don't seek to dominate, but to understand, to explore, to grow. As Jack spoke, the other members of the Longshot crew felt a familiar connection forming. Their minds linked, not just with each other, but with the very essence of the chamber around them. They could sense the fears, hopes, and intentions of every being present. Suddenly, the air shimmered. Gasps echoed through the chamber as a holographic display sprang to life, showing the intricate web of connections between all present, a visual representation of the universe's underlying unity. This is what we've discovered, Sarah Chen explained, her voice filled with wonder. We're all connected, all part of something greater. The seventh dimension isn't just a means of travel, it's a new way of understanding reality itself. The display shifted, showing glimpses of incredible technological advancements, medical breakthroughs, and solutions to problems that had plagued civilizations for eons. We offer you a choice, Maiko Konko continued. Join us in exploring these new frontiers. Together, we can achieve things none of us could have imagined alone. The chamber erupted in discussion. Some aliens embraced the idea eagerly, while others remained skeptical. But the tide of opinion was clearly turning. As the summit progressed, new alliances were forged. The Krulari, once dismissive of humans, now eagerly offered their expertise in biotechnology. The Vextor proposed joint research initiatives into crystal-based computing. Even the warlike Krex, sensing the changing winds, grudgingly agreed to peace talks. But amidst the excitement, Jack and his crew remained vigilant. Their enhanced senses picked up undercurrents of fear and resentment from some quarters. They knew that not everyone would accept this new order willingly. As the summit drew to a close, a new galactic charter was drafted. Earth, once an insignificant backwater, now stood at the center of a new coalition of worlds. The Terran Confederation would lead the charge into a new era of exploration and discovery. But with great power came great challenges. As Jack looked out over the assembled aliens, he felt the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. They had unlocked the secrets of the universe, but the true test would be in how they used that knowledge. As the delegates filed out, discussing the bright future ahead, A hooded figure slipped away unnoticed. In the shadows of a deserted corridor, it activated a hidden communicator. "The humans have taken the bait," it whispered. "Everything is proceeding as planned. Soon, they will lead us to the ultimate power. And then, the true masters of the galaxy will reveal themselves." The figure vanished, leaving behind only a lingering sense of unease. The galaxy had changed, but the game was far from over. A new chapter in the cosmic drama was about to unfold, with humanity at its center. 5 years had passed since the historic Galactic Summit, and the universe had changed in ways few could have imagined. The Terran Confederation, led by the crew of the Longshot, had ushered in an era of unprecedented growth and discovery. On a space station orbiting Jupiter, Captain Jack Harper stood before a window, gazing at the swirling storms of the gas giant below. The station, a marvel of human and alien engineering, served as a hub for the most ambitious scientific endeavor in history, Project Cosmos. Dr. Elena Reeves approached, her tablet displaying a holographic model of the universe. "Jack, the latest data from the deep space probes is in. It's beyond anything we ever dreamed." Jack nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "Show me." The hologram expanded, filling the room with a breathtaking view of the cosmos. Strands of energy connected distant galaxies, pulsing with life and information. "The seventh dimension isn't just a means of travel," Elena explained, her voice filled with awe. "It's the foundation of consciousness itself. Every living being, every planet, every star, they're all connected through this cosmic web." As they discussed the implications, Sarah Chen entered the room, her expression serious. "Captain, we've got a situation. Our sensors have detected an anomaly at the edge of known space. It looks like a tear in the fabric of reality itself." Jack's mind reached out, connecting with Sarah and Elena. In an instant, they shared thoughts, theories, and concerns. It was an ability they had all developed over the years, a testament to humanity's evolving potential. "Assemble the team," Jack said aloud. "We need to investigate this personally." Hours later, the Longshot approached the anomaly. The ship had evolved alongside its crew, its sleek form now barely resembling the vessel that had first ventured into the seventh dimension. Mike Okonkwo's voice came over the comm system. "Captain, I'm picking up strange energy readings. It's like nothing we've ever encountered before." As they neared the tear, the crew felt a familiar surge of power. The ship, responding to their collective will, began to glow with ethereal energy. Suddenly, a massive form emerged from the anomaly. It was a ship, if such a term could apply, a construct of pure energy and thought, dwarfing even the largest known spacecraft. A voice, more felt than heard, resonated through their minds. "At last, you have come. We have waited eons for a species to reach this level of understanding." The crew of the Longshot stood in awe as the being revealed itself. It was not one entity, but many, the combined consciousness of countless ancient civilizations that had transcended physical form. "You stand at a crossroads," the voice continued. "The power you wield can reshape the very fabric of existence. Will you join us in the next phase of cosmic evolution?" Jack looked at his crew, seeing the mixture of excitement and apprehension in their eyes. They had come so far, achieved so much, but this was beyond anything they had imagined. "Before we decide," Jack replied, his voice steady, "we need to understand. What exactly are you offering, and what are the consequences?" The being seemed to smile, a sensation rather than a visual cue. "Wisdom beyond measure, the ability to shape reality itself, but also responsibility beyond imagining. To join us is to become custodians of the universe itself." As the implications sank in, Jack felt a familiar connection forming. Not just with his crew, but with every human back on Earth, every alien ally they had made. In that moment, he realized that this decision was not theirs alone to make. "We need time," he said. "This isn't just about us. It's about the future of all sentient life. The ancient beings seemed to nod in understanding. Time is one thing we have in abundance. We will wait and watch. When you are ready, you need only reach out through the cosmic web. As the being retreated back through the anomaly, the crew of the Longshot looked at each other, a mix of emotions playing across their faces. "Well," Sarah said, breaking the silence, "I guess we have a lot to discuss with the folks back home." Jack nodded, his gaze fixed on the spot where the anomaly had been. "We've come so far," he mused, "but in many ways, our journey is just beginning." As the Longshot turned back towards Earth, Jack couldn't help but smile. The universe was vast, full of wonders and challenges they had yet to imagine. But whatever lay ahead, humanity would face it together, no longer the laughingstock of the galaxy, but its brightest hope. The adventure, it seemed, was far from over.